Zeitgeist Lab Collections.
There it is.
There it is. Season 2, Community. Today we're talking about intermediate documentary filmmaking. See, I remember that.
That's impressive. Usually you have no idea what we're talking about.
No. Alex, I got some good news for you.
Okay, okay, what is it?
I watched the episode.
Oh my god, that's good. I mean, you watched the last episode, right? I don't know.
Yeah. I watched most of them.
Yeah, we talked last week. I still haven't uploaded that episode because of all our technical difficulties. Like, I mean, if anyone's listening to this, hopefully by the time you're listening to this, you will have heard the episode about Advanced Gay, and you will have heard that we had a bunch of technical difficulties. Now, to get the audio files that I recorded, I've got to lug that fucking huge beast back out again and power it up and transfer the files. So we'll see. Maybe it's just a lost episode. Probably not, but I'll get to it.
That'd be interesting if we had a lost episode.
We already had a lost interview in season 1. Maybe we need a full lost episode. It adds to the mythology of our podcast.
That's a good idea. Our botched Pride episode.
Right, yeah, exactly.
That I foolishly chose for Pride Month, Advanced Gay, which was not necessarily the reflection of the LGBTQ plus community that we hoped it would be.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I guess that we hoped it would be as accurate. I knew it wasn't, but yeah, it's definitely not what I hoped it would be, I suppose.
I just saw the title and thought, hey, that would be, I'm feeling festive. That'd be nice.
It's so bad, too. I mean, not to rehash what we already talked about, but that was one episode I didn't get a chance to watch all of because my life was so hectic last week. So when I went to watch this documentary one on Netflix, it was still in the middle of Advanced Gay. And so when I first loaded Netflix, it started autoplaying, and it was at a part where Annie was asking Jeff, like, what are you going to wear to Pierce's gay party? And Jeff was like, nothing. And she's like, ooh, I bet they'll like that. And it's like, no, come on. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I'd like to think humor has evolved since then.
Since 2011?
Oh, it was that recent. Wow, yeah, that's 10 years
I guess that's 10 years. Yeah, I guess maybe humor's evolved.
Maybe.
You know what's interesting is, for reasons I don't want to get into necessarily right here in front of the paywall, when I was in California last month, I found myself very late at night watching The Chappelle Show, based on a recommendation maybe I got somewhere behind the paywall, and it has not necessarily aged great in terms of wokeness.
It's still I still think it's funny, but you kind of have to watch it with your 2004 glasses on.
Right, I agree. I think that it can be fun. I find it funny as a person with a fuck ton of privilege, which is probably part of the problem, right?
Yeah. Anyway, so okay, I just remembered this. Excuse me. Living the high life. So you're gonna hear a lot of bodily functions, I feel like. When you live the high life.
Learn how to use the mute button, please.
See, where is the mute button?
Oh, look, you did it.
Oh, cool. All I gotta do is swipe.
There you go.
Speaking of swiping, I'm on a few dating sites, right? A few dating apps.
Uh-huh.
So
you're trying to get back out there.
Yeah. It's been quite a few months. And since my last situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, for lack of a better word. And I'm on one of the apps, Hinge. You don't really fill out a whole lot,
Okay.
But but you still have to write like a couple facts about yourself. And one embarrassing one I wrote was, I have a podcast.
Okay. Is that embarrassing? Are you embarrassed by what we're doing here?
Yes and no.
Now, you've had a couple jobs. I mean, you had a caretaker job at one point during the first season, but you didn't really have a lot of coworkers because it's just you and the client. And I guess most recently, you did have coworkers, but you were working from home. I was going to ask if you've ever told like any of your coworkers or anyone like that about your podcast, but it seems like that doesn't really necessarily apply to your most recent working
I haven't
situations.
told any coworkers or anyone
Uh-huh.
that I work with. But yeah, so then someone liked that fact that I wrote.
Okay, so on this app, you can go through and like individual facts.
Yeah, and pictures and stuff like that.
Okay,
That's how you get the notification that someone is interested in you, I guess.
okay.
And I liked one of their pictures to make sure it was like a mutual thing. And I had them message me first because you have the option to do that.
Okay.
So I had her message me first because you have the option to do that too.
Uh-huh.
And she asked me, "Hey, what's your podcast about? What podcast do you like?" And I still haven't messaged back. Because I don't know, what is our podcast about?
Just read the description.
Like, well, how do I describe our podcast to someone?
Well, okay. Well, it's right on our website. It's like something about short collections about culturally significant topics discussed by Brian and Alex, or something like that. You know?
Yeah.
Just go the professional route. Make it sound super legitimate instead of oh, it's a podcast where 20 people listen to us talk about God knows what.
So I was thinking I would respond on air.
Okay, and then send this to her?
Yeah, with some input from you.
Okay.
So, let's see here. And then she asked me what podcasts I like, which is another loaded question.
Because you hate all podcasts that aren't ours.
No, it's just because like the two I listen to the most are really embarrassing.
Which two are those?
Blink 155 and Come Down.
I've never listened to Come Town. What's embarrassing about Blink 155?
It's a podcast about Blink 182. Or
Not anymore. And also, why is that embarrassing? I don't know. Maybe it's just because of my age, although you and I are the same age. I don't find anything about liking Blink 182 embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's for like I don't know. It just seems embarrassing that because we're in our 30s and we're still fixated on the band Blink 182.
Yeah, but I mean, and I guess like on the surface level, it seems embarrassing, right? But you've got to understand why you like the podcast so much, and that takes a lot of explanation for sure. It's not because I'm a fan of Blink 182, that's for sure. If I was a really big fan of Blink 182, I'd probably hate it because all they ever do is shit all over them.
Right. Okay, so I'm responding now. So I said, "Hey, so my podcast is about a couple different things. It changes from season to season. Our current season is about the TV show Community."
I love all the button tapping sounds we're getting.
Oh yeah, I love those. I didn't know those were coming through. Each season we pick a different topic that was once or currently is culturally significant. I don't listen to a ton of other podcasts, but I do like Blink 155, which is about the band Blink 182. Obviously, LOL. Have you heard of Come Down? No, I'm just kidding. All right. Send. Damn, that's like a whole paragraph.
Yeah, nice work.
All right, back out there. We're back out there. We're back out there.
Right.
All right, so now that that's out of the way, Community. All right, so this week we're talking about intermediate filmmaking, intermediate documentary filmmaking, and this might piss you off, but I chose this one not because I like it.
I thought that was the point of how you chose these.
I just thought this was the most, but I do think this is the most important episode of season 2.
Okay.
And that's why I chose it.
Okay.
Not
how
because,
are we defining importance?
I think it really ties everything together with Pierce and his first kind of riff with the study group.
Okay.
Because it's after he overdosed, he finally overdoses on those pain pills, and he's so all of his drama with the study group kind of comes to a head on this one. So I like when they sort of build towards something.
Sure.
And it kind of pays off. And so I think so. I don't. Do you agree with that? Do you think this is a really significant episode?
I do. I'm trying to look. I'm just looking at where it falls within this season. Okay, so it's the 16th episode. Yeah, I mean, it definitely. I'm just trying to think what else happens with Pierce after this, and there's not a lot up until the final of the paintball episodes where they're voting on whether or not Pierce should be kicked out of the study group.
Yeah,
and I think this could potentially be seen as one of the many reasons why people would want, why they would vote him out, right? So I think it's a very important Pierce episode. It's a really important Jeff episode in terms of his relationship with his dad and how he feels about that. But I'd say it's a Pierce and a Jeff episode. As far as everyone else, it explores some of their more negative character aspects and forces them to kind of reflect and examine those. Some more significantly than others. Some in just kind of a stupid way. I think Troy's plot is really funny, but kind of dumb that it focuses on this idea that he's too shy to talk to LeVar Burton. So I think it's, for the most part, I would call it a very important episode. You say it's important to season 2. I'm trying to figure out, what I would call the overall arc of season 2, or how I would describe it. I mean, I don't think season 1 really has one. I think you can say it's just a lot of standalone episodes where you get to know the study group, and I mean, there's some arc to it. And season 3, obviously, there's a big arc that we've talked about at length as we kind of explore those episodes. But I don't know what necessarily the arc of season 2 is, other than Pierce and his reckoning with the study group and being a decent human.
Right. So now you got a better idea of why I chose it.
But so you don't like it?
No, I do like it a lot. It's just not a favorite necessarily.
Okay.
If I actually had to choose a favorite documentary or filmmaking episode, I would have chose the one where they start hustling chicken strips.
Well, that's not a documentary episode. That's it's a film spoof. I mean,
okay, that's true. Yeah, never mind.
I think the best one is the one where they, the Heart of Darkness one. The one, is it Heart of Darkness? Either way, it's the one where they're trying to make a new commercial for Greendale. I think that's probably the best. Documentary one.
That's a good one. Yeah,
but this one is still worlds better than Wedding Videography.
Hey, now
I really like this episode, actually. Like I said, I don't think it's the best documentary one, but I think it's a really solid one. I'm happy we're talking about it.
Yeah,
and I never really stopped to consider its importance.
Right. Um, which I still feel it is important.
I agree.
Yeah,
You convinced me.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Okay, good. I'm glad I've converted you. Um, that's going to be good for my ego in regards to this podcast.
I don't know if your ego needs any boosting. Your ego is already so large that you think you can just like waltz onto Twitter and just like drop any hot take about the Milwaukee Bucks like it.
How is that a hot take? I'm just rooting for my team.
Your team. You don't even like Milwaukee.
I don't even like Milwaukee. I love the Brewers.
But when we've talked about Milwaukee, especially in the context of music, you've always been like, "Well, it's not Madison." Well, yeah, of course it's not Madison. But then you're like, "What? I like Milwaukee." It's like just make up your mind about Milwaukee, and then you're like out there tweeting like, "Fear the deer! I will not be censored." Ah!
I'm just rooting for my sports team. Okay, I didn't pay attention during the regular season.
Okay, you're one of those fans then.
I didn't even watch the last game. I just pinned the score to my phone, and
all you do is you just watch whatever takes Will for Thrill has, and then just feed off of that.
No, not really. Not really. I mean, I'm excited for the Bucks. I'm excited for Milwaukee. They usually choke this far in the playoffs, so I'm really excited for them. I was genuinely excited to watch, watching the score. So
okay.
I'm and they got the Greek Freak.
The what?
The Greek Freak.
What's that?
It's their star player Giannis. He's Greek and he's a freak.
Okay.
Hence the name, Greek Freak. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for Milwaukee, and I like the Brewers too. If they win the division, they'll go to the playoffs as well. Yeah, I mean, I as a city, I don't like Milwaukee, but I mean, I don't like Green Bay either. But I'm a diehard Packers fan. I don't have to like the city; it's just I like the sport, and they just happen to be the local team. It's ironic because I don't care for college sports at all.
Nah, fuck college sports.
But I don't root for the Badgers, even though they're based in Madison.
Yeah, but who gives a shit about college sports? I agree with you. I don't know why people are so fucking obsessed with like March Madness or college football.
Yeah, unless you go to that college or you're alumni of that college.
No.
I don't see.
I'm a proud alumni of the University of Utah, and I could give a shit what they do athletic-wise. I went there for 3 years, and I never once attended a football game or a basketball game. Like, fuck college sports.
I actually did attend University of Eau Claire football game.
Oh, nice.
My brief semester there.
Okay.
I actually ran out on the field at the end.
Okay.
Because they won a very close game.
So was it just you, or like everyone rushed the field?
Everyone rushed the field. That was like,
nice.
There was a whole group of us. That'd have been really funny if it was just me though.
Yeah. I'm not into school loyalty. I did not go to a single high school football game or basketball game. The only University of Utah sporting events I ever attended were long before I ever went to the school. I unfortunately have been to a couple of Utah Jazz games, and I fucking hate the Jazz. But
well, they're out of the playoffs, so
I know. Thank God, that was awesome. I was so happy to see the Clippers destroy them.
So you're rooting for the Clippers then?
No, I'm just rooting for whoever is playing against the Jazz. Like, that's all. Like, I don't even care who wins now. The Jazz are out, so I don't have to listen to people in my state talk about the Jazz anymore. Thank fucking God.
Yeah. Anyway. So what's the deal with Tony Romo then? Why are you so fixated on Tony Romo?
He's the only athlete worth watching.
Why is that? Why do you think that? I don't get it. I don't get that. It's just like it's like a bit that you're doing.
No, it's not a bit. I love Tony Romo. Like, it was always my dream. Like, I'm not the type of guy who would ever, like, he would never catch me walking around in a sports jersey or anything like that. But I was like, oh yeah, I want a Tony Romo jersey. That would be so sick. But they're so fucking expensive. And like, I have enough money now that I could afford it. But I'm like, no, I'm still not going to put down like $100 for a jersey with a number 9 on it. But like, he was always my favorite player.
But why?
I don't know. There's just something about him. He's got this. He comes from nothing, right? Like he's undrafted. He's just Bill Parcells didn't draft him, signed him when he was undrafted. He was a backup for Drew Bledsoe, and Drew Bledsoe has a great career. It's kind of overshadowed by what Tom Brady ended up doing in New England, probably rightfully so. But he went to Dallas, and Drew Bledsoe did a lot of great things for Dallas. But he was past his prime.
He got crushed by Favre in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's true. The one Super Bowl he started, but he did get the Patriots to the playoffs the year they did win, and Brady just crossed the finish line because he got injured at the tail end of the regular season or maybe in the playoffs. So Drew Bledsoe is a talented player. He came to Dallas. He did well enough for a few years, but he's past his prime. They pull him. They put Romo in. I'm like, who the fuck is Tony Romo? And he just came in. He started demolishing people. Like, I remember that first season. That was actually my first season in college. So I'm away from home. I'm living at the dorm. It's been a long time since I've gotten into football because I used to just have so many things going on in high school. But it's kind of more of a loner in college, I guess, or just didn't go do much. So I found myself watching all the Cowboys games. And I was just so drawn to Tony Romo. And I thought it was so great. And then watching that first season, and I thought I didn't know if they'd win the Super Bowl. I thought they'd make it deep in the playoffs in that fucking botched snap in Seattle. And I just always thought after that because that was like the first year of his career, or at least his first year as a starter. So I thought, yeah, they're gonna win it eventually. But fucking Jerry Jones never put the right people around him.
Nope.
I don't know. I'm just very drawn to him.
Okay, all right. I'm glad we got a glimpse behind the curtain on that one. For the longest time, I was bewildered by that.
He's the greatest quarterback that's never won a Super Bowl.
Okay. I mean, there's also Dan Marino.
Yep, and Jim Kelly. But Tony Romo's better.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
All right.
Well, that's all I have to say about that. Right, yeah, exactly.
Talk.
I'll drop a sound effect in right there.
Yeah, like a bomb going off.
No, I was thinking there's got to be a clip I can pull from AM radio of some voice that's like sports talk, and then some wacky noises. I don't know. I don't listen to fucking radio.
I do listen to about 25 minutes of sports talk radio in an Uber.
Was it entertaining? Was it good? What were they talking about?
It was all right. It was about not the Cardinals. The Braves' chances at getting into the playoffs, which are
fuck baseball.
I love baseball. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a lot of fun to play softball. It's fun to go watch a game. Watching baseball on TV is so excruciating. And the fact that it's 130 games or something like that, and I just don't care.
Yeah, and they're 9 innings.
Yeah, uh-huh.
They're long games for sure, yeah. I couldn't watch it on TV. I don't know. I watch it with my dad every once in a while.
Really?
We'll watch the Brewers, yeah.
I like watching golf on TV. That's what I'll watch is golf.
Ooh,
and football, obviously.
I took my dad out for African food on Father's Day. We caught some of the U.S. Open. And that was boring as sin.
No, it's so good. I'm bummed that I don't watch golf really anymore. But what is African food? Africa's a big fucking place. Can we be more specific? Is it Ethiopia or is it
I don't know. It's an African restaurant.
Okay.
But it doesn't specify what kind of food it was. My dad got shawarma.
I've heard of that, but I can't visualize what it is.
It's there's lamb.
Okay.
Then I got the catfish sandwich, which is
that sounds good.
It was very good. Oh yeah.
So are you pro seafood?
Oh yeah, I'm pro seafood.
I feel like most people don't like seafood, and I don't get it. At least most people I know. I love seafood.
I fuck with like some like a lobster roll.
Oh hell yeah! Anything with
Yeah,
lobster is delicious.
yeah. When I went to New England, I made sure to get one.
Yeah. Oh fuck! Yes, you went to Boston, right? That's one of the best
Yeah,
places to be to get something like that.
I was in New Hampshire when I had mine, but yeah, but it's all New England. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that was delectable.
I bet. Yeah, I've been to Maine a few times, and you got to get the lobster.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, my wife doesn't like seafood. But like my parents do, and her parents do. But it seems like anyone that I actually like am close with, like none of my friends growing up liked it. No one I've ever dated has liked it, and I just like, what is wrong with people? Why don't you like seafood?
Yeah, right. It comes from the sea.
It's fucking delicious. Shrimp, lobster, crab, salmon.
Oh yeah. Give me all of it.
So drive-through records.
Yeah. So yeah. We should probably take a look at the AV Club.
Yeah.
Because do you have any other thoughts on the episode so far?
No, no. I thought the Shirley gift was kind of weird. I'm not sure what he was going for with that. Like what Pierce's motivation was there. I feel like I understood the Britta one. Like he's trying to call her on her virtue signaling. The Jeff one was pretty obvious. Yeah. The Annie one I thought was really touching. That he actually just likes her. Like he wasn't trying to like prod at her or poke at her. And like classic Annie though, she just overanalyzes it because she sees that everyone else is kind of being picked apart.
Yeah, I thought their relationship was very interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
It's you can like she overanalyzed it way too much. Like when he starts paying her rent or trying to pay her.
Yeah.
She always thinks there's an ulterior motive.
Yeah.
Which I don't think there was necessarily. Like if I remember correctly.
No, I don't think so. And again, so the Troy one I thought was funny but dumb. I thought Troy had some really great moments, like the moment like when he's freaking out in the little break room or whatever. He's like, "I told Pierce 1,000 times." Like I think that's a really good scene.
Sure.
Yeah.
A picture can't disappoint you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. That was really funny. I liked watching him terrorize Jeff though.
Yeah.
I like when Jeff kind of like gets taken down a peg or two.
Yeah, that's always satisfying.
Yeah. Yeah, he kind of terrorizes the whole study group in this episode. I think
but not Abed. There's nothing for Abed.
Because he doesn't understand Abed, I think.
Yeah. Well, and even like I don't think we're going to talk about this episode, so I guess I can mention it here. The season 5 episode Cooperative Polygraphy, the polygraph one after Pierce dies, and once again in that one he has the chance to like give everyone gifts, and he's got like one gift, and then like a little jar of semen or whatever, right? And for Abed, he just gives him the jar of semen. He's like, did like the questioner or whatever asks, like, did you know you're weird and I never understood you? And Abed says yes, and then he just gives him the jar of semen or whatever. Like there's no actual gift.
Yeah, that's another good episode.
That's a great one. That would have been on my list. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But what was I gonna say? Okay, the AV Club. I want to grab another beer before we do that.
Jesus Christ, how fast do you drink these things?
I drink very fast. Yeah, it's a Wisconsin thing, I think. Just yeah, it's the last one. Have you ever had a shower beer?
Like a beer while I'm in the shower?
Yeah.
No, that sounds gross.
You've never enjoyed a shower beer before?
Well, first of all, beer is gross, but I would never drink anything in the shower, alcoholic or otherwise.
Yeah, it's satisfying. I don't know.
Like I wouldn't even take a White Russian into the shower, and as you know, that's my drink of choice. Like
That's right. Yeah.
shower beer, God, that's
I haven't done that since my 20s, though.
okay.
But yeah, you see like any beer at all?
No, And like, fuck all those people that are like, well, I like IPAs or I like Pilsners. Like, fuck you guys. Like, it all tastes like shit. Like, I don't care what it is. Like, none of them taste good.
Craft beer, for the most part, is disgusting. I mean, when I was a bigger drinker in my 20s, I definitely went through a craft beer phase because I worked at a liquor store.
Yeah.
So, like, I started drinking craft beer when I started drinking, period.
Okay.
I worked at a liquor store. So, I had all the fancy shit at my disposal. I wanted to try because I was like, well, I mean, I might as well. I mean, since Wisconsin's like a big drinking state, obviously, probably the biggest drinking state. Might as well try this shit out. You can only get here.
Right.
But now it's like, yeah, it's like consuming a whole meal, like drinking like a triple IPA or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking disgusting.
It's all
Not just
gross.
like cheap beer.
New Hampshire is currently the state with the highest per capita alcohol consumption.
That's because it's a small state.
Yeah, but that's per capita. It doesn't matter how small it is.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So
yeah, but
I hate to break it to you that Wisconsin's not the biggest drinking state.
Okay, but if you see the top 10 list of like the drunkest cities in America, though, right?
I'm looking at Wisconsin is home to 12 of the nation's top 20 drunkest cities.
There you go. It sure is.
It sure is. I didn't even know there were 12 cities in Wisconsin. Let's see. We've got Appleton, Oshkosh, Green Bay, Madison. That's the top 4 drunkest cities. And then 6, we've got La Crosse. 7, Fond du Lac. Number 8
that's right, yeah.
Okay. Number 8 is Eau Claire. Number 11 is Wausau.
Yep. Wausau.
Number 12. Okay. Number 12 is Sheboygan. Great word. 15 is Racine. Okay. And then 16 is Janesville. 17 is Milwaukee.
Janesville, the shithole.
And that's it. Those are all the Wisconsin cities.
Damn Skippy.
Well, there you go. Appleton, huh?
So Appleton's number 1?
Yeah.
It's number 1.
This study is from December of 2019. Why is Madison number 4? You guys got to get your shit together.
I don't know. I mean, we're a big college town, so.
But why aren't you number 3
or 2
or 1?
But yeah. What was 2 and 3?
2 and 3. Sorry, let me pull it back up here. 2 was Oshkosh and 3 was Green Bay.
Okay. Yeah, Sloshkosh, yeah.
Sloshkosh.
That's where my brother went to school.
Nice.
Yeah. Sloshkosh. Yeah, I've been drunk in Oshkosh before. It's always a good time.
Sure. My favorite thing, one of my favorite things that you do is you'll like retweet I guess there's like some Twitter account that like tweets pictures of great dive bars, and you always retweet ones from Madison.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I blacked out there once.
I always got to support the Madison bars. Yeah, when they pop up in that
right
Twitter account. Yeah. I've been nearly blacked out all over this city.
Great.
Not in about 10 years though. That was when I first moved here. So like I used to live on a street called Mifflin,
Mm-hmm. Like Dunder Mifflin?
more like Mifflin, home of the Mifflin Street Block Party,
Oh, okay.
which is like one of the biggest drinking like college. It's like one of the biggest college drinking holidays.
Okay.
It's like the biggest party of the semester or whatever, which I didn't partake in. But I used to live on that street though, where they'd have it. And I would just go home that weekend because I don't want to deal with all that. But it was right off the square, like the main square of Madison, where the Capitol is,
Okay.
and that's where like all the fancy bars and restaurants are. So I would get hammered at this place called the Old Fashioned, which
Okay.
had happy hour, like two pints for like $4,
Nice.
and would just get drunk and sing karaoke all the time there. That was a good time. That was when I first moved here. The good old fashioned.
Yeah. Dude, would you drink an old fashioned?
Nah, that's even though that is the Wisconsin drink of choice.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, yeah. That's my mom's go-to drink, but not mine.
Yeah.
Nah, I would always just drink like 8 pints
It's like
and
the worst way I think to get drunk. Like it takes so much longer, and you gotta drink so. Like you just feel like on top of being hungover, if you're drinking enough to black out, your stomach must just feel like shit by the time you finish. Like
oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
just take
Not a
like
lot of
5 tequila shots and call it good. Like
yeah,
why do you need to drink all
no,
that beer?
no. I almost died from alcohol poisoning in Eau Claire from drinking screwdrivers. So I couldn't do hard liquor once I moved here.
Okay, screwdrivers are good though,
Oh
but I like to
god.
do mine with Sunny Delight instead of regular orange juice.
Okay, I feel that. That's good. But yeah, I like my last day at Eau Claire. I woke up in the hospital from drinking at like a party that I didn't know anyone at.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I had I had just moved into a dorm,
Uh huh.
and excuse me. I just moved into a dorm from the Overflow Hotel that they put all like the transfer kids in. So I used to live in a hotel when I was going to Eau Claire because that's where they put all the Overflow transfer students. And I just moved into a dorm for like a month or two, and I didn't know anyone. And so like the couple people I knew invited me to this party that I didn't know anyone at, and I just got. And I was worried about my academic performance, so I was just drinking my face off all night and just like
Mm-hmm.
being around all these new people that I didn't know and just kind of nervous and shit and like woke up in the fucking hospital. And apparently when they'd asked for my date of birth, like the cops asked for my date of birth, I just kept no. They asked for my the cops kept on asking me for I think my social security number
Okay.
to identify me. And I just kept telling them my date of birth.
Nice.
Yeah, that's and then I threw up all over like the I threw up everywhere, I guess. I don't remember any of this. Apparently I played beer pong, and I don't know. I can't remember if we won or not. I don't remember playing beer pong that night.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I woke up and I blew a point three something.
Nice. Jesus.
Yeah, which is like which is like close enough to kill you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think 0.36 is what kills you. I think I blew a 0.34.
Okay.
So yeah, almost died. Um, Another good story of me blacking out was at my friend's girlfriend's like after party for like her play she was in, and everyone did tequila shots, and I threw up all over her bathroom, and I thought I dreamt throwing up all over her bathroom
Uh-huh.
because I knew that happened, but I thought it was a dream. So
Sounds
that
like
was
you make
like,
a great party guest.
yeah, sometimes. Oh yeah, my 30th birthday, I ended the night puking, but I
It's just
made it
last year, right?
um 2 years ago now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, a year and a half, something like that. Yeah, made it to the toilet on that one though.
Oh,
That
that's
was
good.
pretty sick. Yeah, yeah. Started the party on the stoop.
Shout
That's
out
pretty,
Stu.
the old stoop. I miss it. Yeah, yeah. I remember my aunt came over because my shitty cousin, who was my roommate at the time, invited her to the party, and she was like drinking wine on the stoop with me. That's pretty nice. And everyone else was smoking weed on the stoop, drinking on the stoop. It was a stoop party. That's how we started that one.
Ain't no party like a stoop party.
Exactly. All right, so the AV Club.
Yes, the AV Club.
Wow, yeah, we kind of got off the rails on that one. All right, so you know how we do this. We read the first sentence and the last sentence. They get our friend and hopefully soon to be guest, Emily Todd Vanderwerf.
Look, I'm not subject. I'm just saying that you got to be the one to reach out. Like I've contacted the two guests that we have planned so far for this season.
I know.
Which it's your season. You got to get us some guests, man.
I know, that's my responsibility. I know. I just haven't had the wherewithal to do that quite yet.
Even if you don't get her, find someone for us to talk to. Get your mom on here or something.
Oh God, no. I don't even enjoy talking to my mom about anything, much less Community.
Well, you can just sit there and listen, and her and I'll talk about Community.
I don't even think she knows what it is.
Even better.
We can get my dad on though. He doesn't know what it is either. But I want to get my dad on the podcast at some point.
Okay.
He's pretty awesome. All right, so our good friend Emily gave this episode an A, which is really surprising to me, honestly. But it is what it is. All right, so
what would you give it?
probably like a B plus.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's somewhere between B plus and A, maybe A minus. But yeah, I think you nitpick way too much with the AV Club because this isn't like actual school. I don't really see what the difference is between a B plus and an A.
That's true. Yeah. All right, so you know how we do? We read the first sentence and the last sentence. As a singular episode of television, intermediate documentary filmmaking is pretty stellar. Okay.
Agreed. Okay, I'm with her.
All right. God, these are always so long. Okay. We'll see in the upcoming weeks if that's what the writers thought it did. Okay, so
your theory doesn't really hold up here. I don't even know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
And that's not her fault.
It's all right. So she thinks this is a great stealth Abed episode.
Oh yeah,
Which I think which is an interesting point, but yeah. You barely think about Abed.
But to the point that we discussed with Althea a few weeks ago, we do at least see him on camera 2 or 3 times, which you don't at all in the episode we discussed with her from season 6.
Right. Yeah. So obviously our friend Emily Todd Vanderwerf liked this episode a lot. So that's what we can conclude there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. It is a really great episode. It's just Okay, all right, I'm gonna look for some other points she makes here. So she thinks there's a mockumentary aspect of the episode. Is it a mockumentary, do you think?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't really get
Why
that.
Why would you say that it's not?
Because it's like Pierce, like, sort of terrorizing the study group. It's kind of got a more serious tone than the mockumentary usually does.
I think in this term I would be, or in this context, I would be using mock as more of like, to mean fake, because it's not a real documentary,
Okay,
but it's like a mock-up of what a documentary might look like. So I don't think it's mock like, haha, we're making fun of, but it kind of is, like they're kind of making fun of that format. But yeah, I think of it more of as like a fake documentary is what I think when I hear the term mockumentary.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Obviously.
So yeah, do you have any final thoughts about the episode? Then I think we can wrap this one up.
It's another stellar episode. Like our friend from the AV Club said, I had forgotten how much I like it. It's one that I think I agree that it's a mockumentary, and sometimes that's a turnoff from the beginning. So a lot of times when I rewatch this, I'm like, oh yeah, the Pierce documentary episode, and I just kind of zone out. But because I'm trying to prepare for a podcast here, I really paid attention. I was like, oh wait, no, this is a solid piece of television.
Yeah, going into this one, I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I actually did.
That's why you picked it. I'm so excited to find out that you actually picked. Like, I still don't think we've actually come across an episode you picked that you actually like, except for that piece of shit wedding videography one. Like,
no, we've done. Hold on. App development and condiments was really good. Biology 101 is really good. Aerodynamics of gender is pretty good. Conspiracy theories and interior design is very good. Mixology certification is very good.
Yeah, but I feel like on most of those, at the end of the episode, you arrived at like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have picked this one. I feel like at least 3 of those, if I went back and listened, and you're like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have picked this one, or I don't know why I picked this one.
Well, to be honest, I forgot which episode this was.
yeah, you mentioned that before too.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I know it's a documentary episode. There's like 5 million episodes like that.
Yeah.
So I didn't know which one that was. But it turned out to be pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. I think it was a good pick, even if you hate it and you think it was a B+ episode.
That doesn't mean I hate it.
Do you like it better than wedding videography?
No way. It's not.
Okay, you're just insane. Like, this is way better than anything from season 6. And I know you hate season 6, so you'd probably agree for the most part, but this is still far and above wedding videography too.
I just think Garrett marrying his cousin as like as the penultimate episode of the show is just really funny.
So you're saying that if it had occurred earlier in the season or a different season, you wouldn't like it as much? Like the fact that it's the penultimate episode makes it better?
It makes it even better than it already is, yeah.
Okay,
yeah. I still don't know how to end the podcast. Thanks for listening.